Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another fun, exciting episode of Good Morning Soul. Today, I'm doing another That Film I Watched, where I dust off old relics of my film history. And instead of doing proper reviews, I just kind of vent my old written review of that movie as I also try to remember it. And today, we're talking about a little film from 2009 titled Jennifer's Body. And if you weren't around in 2009, around this time, the Transformers movies had taken off. They're still goddamn happening 9 years later. But the Transformers movies took off. They made like a bunch of money. And Megan Fox became like almost like if memes were like hive minds of jokes. Then there was a hive mind joke / not joke about how hot Megan Fox was. And it caught on so much that I swear to God, this movie happened just because there's too many fucking college dudes and shit. They're just like, man, Megan Fox is so hot. And around this time, the internet was like really kicking in, so it was just dudes googling, Megan Fox, fucking Megan Fox is my fucking wallpaper, bro. Ugh, God. Thank God I wasn't like part of that movement. I was too young. But anyway, Jennifer's Body is a movie where Megan Fox basically becomes a demon monster thing. There's this group of teenagers who are in a band. Well, I guess they're early 20s probably. They're in a band, and basically they sell their souls to the devil, and they perform a ritual on this girl, and they think they kill her, but they actually just turned her into a demon monster. And the rest of the movie is Jennifer slowly killing her high school classmates. Her high school classmates are like throwing memorials left and right, like, why do our people keep fucking dying? And then Jennifer's friend, who's played by Amanda Seyfried, she's basically aware of this whole thing, just kind of being like, yo, stop fucking killing these people, and just try to get a handle on the situation. And apparently J.K. Simmons is in this movie. I probably didn't know who that was in 2009. He wasn't in some of my favorite movies yet. Other than that, that's basically the gist of the movie. And there are some movies such as Spring Breakers, Mean Girls, and I would probably put this up there with them, where they're really just kind of dumb teenage high school movies. But the tone of these movies is so incredibly baffling. Like, this movie has to know it's fucking stupid sometimes. Same, like, Mean Girls is like a weird, like, it knows what it is, but it's being everything that it wants. Like, I don't understand that film. I still don't know my fucking opinion about that movie. And then there's films like Spring Breakers where it's like, it could be great or it could be awful, and I'm leaning towards awful. And the same with this movie. Like, if someone told me they liked this film a lot, I probably like could understand. The dialogue that Megan Fox has in this movie, and keep in mind that she is a terrible actress, is hilarious. She's trying to be sexy a lot. And usually her form of being sexy is just to be like sexually like awkward. Like she'll be like, there's in my review that I have on my old website, there's a line apparently she said, you get like instead of getting me, you get me so wet. She said, you give me such a wetty. And there's a point where she gets stabbed and she's like, my tit. And it's supposed to be like this very dramatic scene where she's speaking like very and that's what I'm talking about. This film knows how fucking weird it is, and thankfully Megan Fox is more like the supporting actress. Amanda Seyfried is the main character, and she is a much more like, she's a much better actress, and she's also much easier to focus on and like kind of be like, yeah, I want you to beat this bitch's ass. Like, you root for her a little bit. And she also has like a goofy boyfriend and stuff like that. And you know, you gotta watch them fight a demon and stuff like that. Yeah, that's basically the gist of the whole movie. I kind of like the aesthetic to the film, just this idea of this band that keeps getting played. It's like this douchey pop rock song, but like it's catchy. It's something that would get popular, and if musicians actually sold their soul to the devil, this would be a perfect way to like go through that. But it was interesting, man. It was an interesting film. But the last time I watched this film, it was me and my brother. I don't know why he wanted to watch this fucking movie. Like, I guess we were in a time where we kind of just would watch movies and just pull it off the shelf, and I had this on the shelf. And it was like 2 in the fucking morning, and we decided to watch Jennifer's Body, and it's like late as hell at night. And like by the time it finished, I was just kind of like, man, I really don't like that film. I fucking hate that film. And I think a part of that, the reason I didn't like it so much, was I was so tired that like you can't watch movies at 2 a.m. and like not like be a little bit agitated, especially if it's a bad film. So yeah, that's probably why I got such a low score. I gave it a 1 out of 5 in the badge of shit. But you know, a 1 out of 5 and a 3 out of 10 are like the same thing to me. And then like a 2 and a 4 and a 3 would be like a 6 or a 7. And then a 4 would be an 8, and then a 5 would be a 9 or a 10. That's the way I do it. So I'm gonna change. I'm gonna do my Letterboxd score as a 3 out of 10. And just looking at this fucking poster and this little diagram they have on Letterboxd just pisses me off. It's literally just Megan Fox dressed like a slut with fucking a history book. It literally just says history 101. History? Why is it spelled like that? There's probably something there. Okay, and it's directed by Karen Kusuma, who has directed The Invitation, Aeon Flux. I've only seen 1 of her 9 films. I do kind of like that it's not by some big fucking sweaty dude who's just like, oh, Megan Fox is in my movie. It did kind of seem to. I don't know if she wrote for the film. Let me find out. Who are the writers? Who are the writers of this wonderful film? Diablo Cody. So he also wrote for Juno, and that's the only other one I know. I believe this is also a woman. So it's a film made by women. So for any people who was trying to say it was like, oh, like very like it wasn't super like like all the footage of Megan Fox that she was being all sexy was probably used during the trailer. There's not like this. It's not like the whole film. Like, I do believe there's people in the studio, the people who make decisions, probably made this movie happen because apparently she's very attractive. But thankfully, the entire film didn't just turn into that. But even though I'm giving this a 3, like, a part of me still wants to rewatch it and see if like my opinion would change, because I'm a very different person than I was. What was I, like 4 or 5 years ago when I rewatched this? So I've seen it twice now. That's my real reason why I don't want to watch it again. It's like I've seen it 2 or 3 times already, and it's a film you watch once and forget about. But it's one of those, like, it's like Spring Breakers. It's like Juno even. It's like, I feel like there's something to this, and there's like, it deserves like a big analysis piece just to come to the bottom of it. I also really like the ending to this film. It's very interesting. The fact that I was able to talk 10 fucking minutes about this film already says that there's a little bit more to it than some people probably give it credit for. But at the end of the day, the reason I didn't like it was more the fact that, like, it felt dumb and it felt like a waste of a movie, I guess. But if I rewatch it, I will be the beg to differ, and you'll see my actual review. And until then, thank you for watching. As always, you guys are the best. I'll see you next time, and until then, with that, I leave you.